Hi everyone, J.J's here. What's up with y'all today? Hopefully y'all are doing a-okay. We happen to have some really cool announcements, support, product, and rules updates and rules changes hopefully down the pipeline relatively soon. By the grace of Kairos on Twitter, Kairos Darkblade. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. He posts a lot of the weekly updates and streams and product streams. Be sure to keep up with them, and of course Chris when he does the live streams for those as well. So we're just going to be kind of just regurgitating the cool things, and I'm just going to give my feedback on how I think some of these cards can be used either in overdress or premium, because those are some of my favorite formats right now. V Premium is also a really cool format that I like as well. But let's get on with it. So first things first, we do have notification of the rules updates that is going to be coming down the 20th of March, which is in a couple of days, not that far from now. It's next week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Then we also have the strategy presentation changes that are going to be taking place on the 1st of April, so don't be fooled about the rules and changes that are going to be updated. We're going to be getting our presentation hopefully about 2 or 3 weeks after that. Usually they do us a little bit later. Pause. Then we also have some new support cards that have been needed for some of the archetypes that have not been getting a whole lot of love. Alchemaster is one of them, so hopefully getting her a little bit of support. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have a Vanguard with Alchemaster in their card name, discard a card from your hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. It can be used on your first grade 2 turns, so you actually do have some really decent grade 2 push into certain archetypes, which is really nice. I really love the fact that it's a grade 2. And choose a card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest at the bottom, put the rest to the top of your deck or into your soul. The top of your deck or into the soul is very important because it allows you to either soul charge the crit that you kind of want in your soul, or some part of your ride line, or something that you can soul blast for later. I really love the fact that, hey, if I hit 2 crits, you can put one of them in soul, leave the other one on top of your deck, and it feeds within to your strategy, which is really nice. And it gets 5k until the end of turn, making a 15k attacker. With the booster it becomes 23. So if you're going first, it forces your opponent to guard with 20k shield. If you're going second, it still allows you to hit with 15, which still makes you hit over their Vanguard. If you're going with 8k booster, it's still 10k shield. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing at all, so I really like it. And then we also have the Star Servant Demon Girl Bifrons, and then it has the ability when this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle from hand. So sadly enough, no real premium shenanigans that you can do with like MLK Baramagnus or MLK, yeah, or like Baramagnus, no, MLK and NLK, sorry, NLK and like a combo strategy to rewrite, maybe use the skill or anything. Sadly enough, no, it doesn't work that way. You can kind of blast one, look at the top 3 of your deck and choose a card from among them, put it into your hand, choose a card from among them, and then put it to your soul and discard the rest. So you take a look at 3, you add 1, soul charge 1, discard the 3rd. That can kind of come up in situations, especially binding something, which is really cool. Then we also have, when this card is if you have the Vanguard with Alchemaster, and then in its card name you can soul blast 1, energy blast 3. So this is specifically for overdress, sadly enough, since you can only activate both of them. Then search your deck for either one card with Astoria, so you can play the Astoria Rideline, mask or non-mask. And this card is placed with a in its card name for a critical trigger to put into your soul, and then shuffle your deck. So you can choose a critical trigger, or you can choose something from the Astoria Rideline, or you can choose one of the Astoria cards. So that's really cool. And then shuffle your deck and put it to your soul. Then choose a card with both different name from this unit and a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from drop zone, and you may call it to Rearguard Circle. So you can kind of soul blast, dump a card, and then you can bring back one of the other grade 2s, which is the grade 2 that you dumped earlier, which is just good supplementary support that the archetype really needed. Hopefully it gets some more support. It gives a lot of like situations where, man, I really want to go wide early stages of the game, I wish I had a card that could do so. Hey, now you finally got a card that can allow you to go a little bit wider earlier into the game. It might play into a lot of retirement strategies, but I feel like this is one of the ways that the deck can kind of crawl back into it. And especially with the new energy mechanic, it gives a lot more design space for a lot of cards to be a lot more explosive, especially force them to use their mechanic. And it also creates a specific divide between premium and overdress for some of these cards, since the energy mechanic cannot be used in premium as of yet. we don't know if they're going to be changing that ruling for us yet. I mean, Italy can use a rideline, so we'll see. All right, and now we do have the Vajra rideline, which is the rearguard centric dragonic Empire rideline, Dragon Empire rideline, which is very different, and it's also Cyber Dragons. Is that grade 2 that gives you? Isn't there a grade 2 that gives you an energy cage? No idea yet. And this is also comes from the the manga. So one of the spin-off mangas that have been written for Overdress that has a character using this ride line, which focuses around their rear guards, which is a way different mechanic than we've ever seen with a lot of the Dragon Empire stuff. A lot of Dragon Empires have been very Vanguard centric, very Vanguard Overlord, just focused on power on itself and not really focused on rear guards. But now rear guards are also with your friends, is sharing friendship stuff, and now it's all in Dragon Empire. That is weird to me. We'll see how it does. So the grade 1 version gets 2k power for each of your rear guards. Really cool. Becomes 10k with a booster, becomes a 18k attacker on your first attack turn, which is kind of cool if you have an 8k booster. And if you want to ride into your grade 2 from your ride deck, you only Soul Blast instead of discarding a card, which keeps card into your hand, which is insane, which is something that I feel that can be used really, really well. But one thing to keep in mind though, there's a lot of really good Dragon Empire ride lines that some still run the Bavasagara ride line to just have a card to filter out to their deck that they can discard for their grade 3 ride line. So even if you're not using it per se, it still gives you a way to kind of filter your deck for free. There's not a lot of decks that run it anymore as Dragon Empire, but I feel like you can still have the option to, which is still wild to me. And then now we have the Stardust Blade. It's a normal order special moved. It kind of reminds me of impact cards from Body Fight, because it does have like a manga panel drawn literally on it with, I think, the grade 3 wielding a giant sword. So that's still kind of cool. Alright, so let's see what it does. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Vajra. And its card name costs kind of last one. Look at the type 5 cards. Choose up to 1 unit with a grade less or equal to your Vanguard from among them. Call it the rear guard circle, shuffle your deck. Choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets auto. When your rear guard is retired by the opponent's card ability. Choose one of your Vanguards auto. When one of your rear guards are retired by your opponent's card ability, search your deck for 1 normal unit. Call it the rear guard circle, shuffle your deck. And then continuous. When this unit gets 3k power for each normal unit in your rear guard circle, and in your drop until end of turn. Interesting. That's kind of cute. So you look at top 5, choose up to a unit with grade less or equal to your Vanguard from among them, call it rear guard shuffle, and then choose. You get to call one. So you get to call one. and you get to call one. So you attack, you call one, you attack, you call one. Interesting. Yeah, this is on normal order, not a blitz order. The fact that it says that your rear guard needs to be retired to trigger it seems a little odd to me. So we'll see. The grade 3, it's probably going to impress us a little bit more. Then there's act once per turn on your grade 2 ride. Then if you have 4 more rear guards, cost reveal a card with Vaj Ride in its name in your ride deck. Then this unit gets 1 critical. This is basically the V Blaster Blade. This is a V Blaster Blade, which is funny, since it kind of has the same condition to get a crit, which is funny. When this unit is rode upon, look at the top 7 in your deck, then choose 1 grade 2 from among them, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. If this unit was not rode upon by a grade 3 or grade 2 Vajra and its card name, look at all the cards in your deck instead of just top 7. The second skill can kind of be played in almost any ride deck, which is... So the grade 1 and the grade 2 can kind of be played in any of the Dragon Empire archetypes because they're relatively generic, which I really like. Chris Rain has this too, except for the Chris Rain grade 2. That one does need a Chris Rain grade 3 to be able to use its effect, but the grade 1 doesn't. Well, kind of. It does need the Chris Rain grade 2. So that's not really that generic. It's generic-ish. It's generic-ish, but not really that generic. It's not that generic, no. Never mind. Any case, let's take a look at the grade 3. 0, your favorite Vanguard doesn't end here. Then we have act once per turn, energy blast 3, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, bind it, choose one of your grade 1, one of your grade 2 unit card for your drop zone, call it to rear guard circle. Nice. Cool little superior call to go off of. And then choose, and when this unit attacks, Counterblast 1, choose one of your grade 2 rear guards and stand it. So you have a little bit of multi-attack shenanigans going on. So when you're attacking, Counterblast 1, you stand a rear that could potentially have some crit power. And it's also a common card. It's a rare, by the way. It's also a rare. I really like this. This is a cool concept. So the whole ride deck, we're getting in the set 2. And it's a ride deck option that budget players who might want to look into a different way of being able to play Dragon Empire can feed into. I really like this. It's a really... If this was one of the archetypes they had brought out years ago, I would say this is a pretty cool archetype. I don't think it even made it that strong, to be real with you. They could have brought this out in like DPT-01 or something, and this would have done fantastically, except for the energy mechanic, of course, because that didn't exist back then. But if it would have been like Counterblast 1 sort of thing, or like Soul Blast 1 Counterblast 1, it would have done fantastic. All right, now let's talk about the mean boy, the piece à la résistance. We have ourselves Continuous. We have Blaster Blade, the Vanguard. Royal Paladin Human. Fantastic. It's also a Keter card. Continuous. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 Majesty Lord Blaster, and your Vanguard is original power becomes 8k, which is fantastic. So, Continuous Soul, your Vanguard becomes 18k base. Awesome. And one of the cool things is with the MLB-D, it gets plus 2k if you have both Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark in your Soul. Great cards. So it becomes 20k base on your opponent's turn. And then in V Premium, it becomes 23 because it gets plus 5k plus 1 drive forever, or as long as it has cards and soul to be able to be used in V Premium. And also you have access to force markers, because when you attack, you can put 2 rear guards into your soul to get force markers. It is awesome. And also has the additional skill from hand. At the end of battle, your Vanguard attacks, so you could be either on Crystal Luster, Twin Blade, or Twin Sword, etc., etc. Any of those good cards you can bind a Vanguard, a grade 3 Vanguard with Blaster in his card name. Well, actually, no, that doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. You do need to be on grade 3, sadly. It doesn't say grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Blaster. Yeah, so you can't do it when you're striding. Sad. I thought it would have said grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Blaster, because then you could play a stride with Blaster, ride the grade 2. And sure, you'd be down to a grade, but it wouldn't have mattered. But, sorry. I digress. In its card name, only Royal Paladin for a clan, and ride this unit to stand. And this unit gets 5k until end of turn. At the end of this battle, it's attacked to ride a card bound for this cost as rest. Still good. Still a good way to get potentially 4 attacks off. Since you can use Replenishment Angel, etc., etc. It's still really nice. Because you can use a skill, ride this out of Soul, then rewrite this out of your bind, and then get another force marker after you're getting a bunch of force markers from your additional skills and abilities already. So you get ride, marker, attack, and at the end of attack, and another to get another marker again. It's so nutty. 4 attacks plus more with Liu and everything else. It's so clean. I really like it a lot. The only like caveat that I have a little bit with it is not really much, to be honest. One thing to keep in mind, this is called Blaster Blade the Vanguard. You do still need, for both D-Series MLB and V-Series MLB, you do need to have Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark, and these are not called them. It's the Vanguard because it's technically IG. And he's the Vanguard. And it also has another ability, when placed on Vanguard Circle cost, Energy Blast 3, and then you could choose to retire one of your opponent's rear guards, which is nutty as well for Overdress. So that does mean that you could run this as a 4-off in your main deck, and then still have your blasters in your ride line, which is really good. And like, sure, all you would really need then is then a Blaster Dark, either in your ride deck, or a Blaster Dark in your or Blaster Blade. A Blaster Dark or a Blaster Blade in your main deck. It depends on which one you find more important to you. To be able to consistently reuse this ability, you do have the Blaster promo, the grade 1 promo that can superior call Blaster Dark and Blade out of Soul, so you can have multi-attacks plus have them to be boosters, and then you can keep this in your soul to have your Vanguard to be still 18k base, which is still very threatening to your opponent's Vanguard. I really like it. I really like this card. I do hope that we get more creative, innovative cards like this. I usually say, well, I usually have the thought of nostalgia can be a bit of a bother because it encumbers a lot of the design process of newer cards being introduced into the game, and keeps you from like seeing cool and fresh design cards because their focus is focused on rehashing a bunch of old designs. But I would love to see them like take a look at like Seal Dragons, for example, Battle Sister stuff. I would love to see them take a look at those legacy support cards, and if they ever want to do any more of the of looking back archetypes like MLB or Overlord, etc., that they bring those also into D format, or have them to be like really cool retrains with their own like crest and stuff like that. I would love that. I would love that a whole lot, and this is like a very good step in the direction that I hope to see really cool design aspects that they might be looking for. One thing they could look into is like maybe seeing a Blaster Dark retrain for the PBO line. Something for PBO, who knows? That'd be really cool. Because they're also kind of important. I would also like to see them play into the Revenger stuff that have been trying to push with the premium deck sets. Some Revenger retrains, not only just the stuff that they did for Crest, but also actual rearguard retrains. Because old Revenger stuff is still kind of nifty, like Mana is probably still the best card. with Bless Angel, but you know, some other stuff would be really cool. Like Rukia can't be doing all the heavy lifting, need some other type cards to do. But yeah, this is a good step. I love this card. Love this card a lot. I'll definitely be testing this in premium. Might be cooking up something in my head already. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We went on a lot longer and gushed a lot more longer over this card than any of the other stuff, because I kind of wanted to blitz right into this. Take care.